All right, here we go. Big Daddy Shin Day 6/19 at 24 Fitness. So, yes, that was one heck of a drive. And yeah, once again, I woke up late and I didn't even get to the early gym, so I got to do the later gym. And it feels good. I mean, it's it's supposed to be the Dodger game, but it started at 5:10 today. I'm like, who's the bad person that did that? But anyways, I got a lot of talking done on the freeway. So, yeah. Now, not only am I on this high about, buying a house soon, right? It turns out that I have to actually think more again about my retirement. Awesome. So when you talk about lifestyle resets, yes, you can reset that too. All right, let me check in. Okay, so yes. It's like a lot of people live in the now. And then so until this, not this moment, but until I got this job, I realized, okay, what am I going to do? You have like a plan, kind of maybe have a plan, maybe not. And then, you just get by. Like you figure, okay, with the salary I got getting paid over at LA or Buena Park. I mean, yeah, I didn't save properly when I was younger. So, when you're struggling, you live like borderline month to month, right? Get an apartment and think like, gosh, you can't save for a house and all that stuff. So it's like your future, you're just banking on whatever teacher retirement they give you. Hold on, let me get on the bike. All right, let's go. All right. There you go. Alright, so this is, I guess, where it gets a little bit personal. But the thing is, some people, you got to think about the retirement. So the way that it works for teachers, okay? When your age and the years of teaching add up to 80, then you retire. So basically, when I turn 55, and I've been teaching for 25 years, I can retire, right? Now, what that means is, on your highest year salary, you'll get like 60% of that for your life, right? Hold on, I have to take this call. Okay, time in. So, yeah, so in LA and Orange County and stuff, it's like, the average teacher, they make like, 80, 85,000. Right? Which seems like pretty good, but the cost of living in LA is just so ridiculous, right? Some people get lucky, they teach them, they get 92, 95, 100, all that stuff. So what happened is, with the rent being, a lot of places like $1,500, $2,000, and then it's like you need to save up a lot of money to get a decent sized house. So the thing is, having that type of teacher salary isn't really enough. So you probably want to get married, someone who has a job that's pretty good, and then together you could go do wonders. But what happened is, before I was on the thing where it's like, you're supposed to do something like you get on your regular jobs, you get a 401k where you could place some aside, and then it lowers your yearly salary for how much you get taxed. And then, but for teachers, it's called a 403b. So I was taking money out of that stuff, saving money on taxes and stuff. But then that's when I realized, like, gosh, I need money to live, right? But it's kind of a weird thing, because even though they're taking out money, then it does lower your taxes, and then you'll get the money back later when you retire. At 55, right? Or whatever it is. And then, so while I was living reckless, I stopped doing my 403b and just living off my salary, paying my rent, paying my car, going out. I mean, I was paying my credit cards and stuff like that. Then, the car accident, had to get a new car, and then like car payment, you know, all the different stuff, and you're just totally swimming on this stuff and not even thinking about the whole retirement. Even though deep in your mind you're like, okay, I just got to live my life until 55, and then I could have my retirement 60% of my salary for life, and you know, maybe I could go buy a house in Mexico, or you know, just somewhere where it's not as expensive as LA, which is a lot of places in the world. So that's that. But then, you know, when I feel really fortunate that, you know, God totally hooked me up with my dream job, right? I know it's kind of far, but you know, it pays me pretty well and people pretty nice, but it put me in an opportunity where I could get the house. I talked about that yesterday. But also what I'm doing is I talked to my financial guy, and he's going to put me back on those plans to get a retirement, okay? So it's one of those things where it's never too late to do it. I mean, of course it's better to put away for retirement when you're younger, but now that I'm older, it's like, you know, with retirement coming around the corner, you need stuff that will be able to take care of you like when you're in the future. So yeah, you know, when I stop working, then, you know, I'll get 60% of my salary or whatever it is, right? And then the 403B is something extra that you get. So depending on how much I put in, you know, what, $19,000 a year or whatever it is. And then, you know, the interest and what the investment thing goes up from there. And then so that's what you draw on later in the future. I have no idea how much that's going to come out to. But I know some people, their retirement funds from doing it when they're like 21, you know, it's like in the millions. So it's like, oh, wow, that'd be awesome, right? But yeah, so it's like one of those ones where I guess when you get older and you start thinking about all the different options, oh, you're not thinking, you didn't know any of the options until they tell you, hey, you could do this. Oh, if you do take out some of your salary, you'll go this. And so I didn't even know that like this 403B, you could actually borrow half of it to pay for your down payment of your first house. And then you're supposed to pay it back with interest. But thing is, you're borrowing from yourself. So you're paying yourself 4% interest or whatever it is. So it's like, oh my gosh, right? So it's really interesting concept. So now's the time where I wish I had, you know, a lot of money in there so I could have borrowed it from there and whatever, right? But yeah, all these different things that I didn't know. And it's not because I just was ignorant of the stuff or whatever. It's just that I always thought that I was too poor to even think about learning about this stuff. And when I'm finding out now, it's those, oh my gosh, I should have done this years ago, right? And it would set me up better for when I retire. So that's, you know, I mean, at least I learned the lesson before. I mean, can you imagine I didn't do anything and then I retire and then all of a sudden I'm totally screwed, right? So the good thing is, you know, I'm being able to recover and then I'll get back onto things, right? And then there's really no bad about it, because I thought that when if I pay for my max 403B, then it would lower the value of the loan that I qualify. But they said, no, it's not, because on my pay stub, it'll show how much I made, and it'll show how much it got taken out for the savings account. And I guess loan companies, they'd like it when you show responsibility about your future. So it's like, okay, whatever. But ultimately, I got to pay all my credit cards in my car. Once I do that, I'll probably have a big celebration video. Going, yeah, baby, what's going on? But this is probably another one of the Big Daddy Shin growing up videos. It's that you have to really think about retirement. You know, I remember when I first started teaching, they took out money. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then so one of those, if I told myself, old self to young self, do it. Old self to young self, buy a house when you're younger. All that kind of stuff. So, we'll see. But once all this stuff happens, then I'll probably just do a regular video. It's just, you know, right now that I'm doing this bike, that's all I'm thinking about. So, anyways, that's my thoughts. Alright, there you go. Day 619 in the books. So, yeah, talking about retirement. Makes me want to retire out of here. So, I am going home. So, yeah, it's, see you later. Alright, bye. So, it's about, you know, you put in your hard work and try to save and figure things out and think about the future, the retirement. It's kind of weird because it just seems like the other day I was like a little kid. I'm a big kid. So, you know, I mean, all these different new numbers and stuff. Yeah, it's part of me growing up, right? If I get a copyright for that, I swear I'm going to be super pissed off. But, yeah, for that whole song right there. So, you know, it's like for any of you younger people that are watching, it's like, you know, people will tell you, oh, you got to save for the future. You got to save, save, right? And then, so, yes, chances are, majority of you will blow it off and be like, oh, yeah, whatever, right? I got to live for now. No, because pretty soon your now is like 49 years old and got to figure things out. So, thankfully, you know, I'm getting my head on straight and doing stuff that I should have done a long time ago. So, you know, you talk about lifestyle reset. Gosh, I remember when it all started with me just trying to go to the gym and lose weight, and then now it's like I got my financial reset. It's pretty awesome. New life. So we'll see. Anyways, kind of early. I'm gonna go home. I'm not hungry. I have a lot of eggs. I gotta eat eggs maybe, and then watch the rest of the Dodger game, go to sleep. Anyways, big dad shit, day 619. If I could exercise 619 days in a row, you could exercise 619 days in a row. So if I could do it, you could do it. And I'm doing it thinking of retirement. All right. That's crazy. Just thinking about that. All right. See you next time.